So, how's it going, guys? I guess this one's going to be about Theta and Tfuel. And to the Edge node and Guardian node. Now, to the Edge node, I wish that those in charge of the site or whatnot, the actual app, if you could do some sort of an update to where whenever I open the Elite Edge node, that I could then see at the very bottom left-hand corner where it is to stake Tfuel. I went through quite a bit. I use assistive technology, so I'm holding down the Windows key and plus to enlarge on Windows, and Windows key press and hold and minus each time to decrease the screen. Now, I've only found that I have to decrease the size of the screen, then go to up at the top left of the page to view, and then toggle full screen. That is the only way that I've found so far in order to see that, and it doesn't show it all. I have tried the tab just above that. I've tried to tab. I've tried to alt tab. I've tried to, arrow down. I've tried control arrow down, alt arrow down, shift arrow down in order for it to show, and none of those are working. So for some of us who are visually impaired, we're never going to see exactly how to stake to the Elite Edge node. As far as the Tfuel earnings, I ran on this server the Elite Edge node for about a month. I staked a good bit to it of Tfuel. I did not exceed on one Edge node the maximum. So, and on that, I was only getting like, what was it, like 0.189, 0.162, and those were just for jobs that were completed. That was not for the amount that I had staked under my wallet to this Edge node of Tfuel. So I never have gotten a payout. I ran that for a month and didn't get anything. So, my calculations, I should be getting a decent amount from that. However, I had to go and do upgrades to this server that I'm using to run both the Guardian node as well as the Edge node, or the Elite Edge node. So when I did all of the upgrades on this server, or really made it into an actual server, I wanted to add 2 additional hard drives to it, or rather replace one hard drive and add a third hard drive. So I have a M.2, which is only for Windows. Then I have as a C drive, direct on the motherboard. Then I have an external 6 terabyte hard drive for files of like music and videos and stuff like that, and files. Then the other solid state hard drive I have is a 2 terabyte, and that's for programs and all. But I found that every time I would try to download and launch, well, first off, it was trying to save to the C hard drive, which is only a boot drive. So I was running into issues there on this. So I would then change the path for it to be installed onto the 2 terabyte. I tried to double click and run. It just showed initializing and just the wheels spinning and spinning and spinning. So nothing ever happened. I let it run for 2 days. Nothing ever happened. So exited out. I then went in to add remove programs, and I removed the Theta Guardian node because that wouldn't boot. And when I booted up the Edge node, the Elite Edge node, that booted up, but to a different wallet and everything. So it's like there needs to be a little more refinement on the Elite Edge node. It's not able for me to enlarge or scroll or arrow down to the other options that are at the very far bottom left of the Elite Edge node. So after I removed programs from the computer, I then went in. Now I'm on Windows 11, so it's a little different than 10. Not much, but if you're doing if you're doing anything on a computer with cryptocurrencies, then chances are you're pretty computer savvy. Now, excuse me. I then went in. I clicked I pushed the start menu at the in between Control and Alt at the bottom left. Press the start menu, and I just typed in file and then hit enter. And then I double clicked on this PC single click on this PC. And then I went to each hard drive separately. So under my C drive, my D drive, and my E drive. So I'm running 3 different hard drives. So this may fix your problem if you're not able to get the Guardian node or the Edge node to relaunch from either computer upgrades like I did, right? So what I did was I found additional files under each hard drive, and I had to go in and manually delete each one. After doing that, then I ran a search. I did a search on this computer, not just C drive, D drive, and E drive, but I ran a search just under this PC, found additional files. I just typed in Theta and hit enter under a search. Found additional files, deleted all of those, and then ran a CCleaner, wiped the CCleaner, or wiped each hard drive with the CCleaner, and went back into Theta's website, downloaded each. Suddenly everything works. So yeah, wow. Usually when you add remove programs, I would think that would delete everything, but it did not. Now, I did not go in and do percent app data percent. I didn't go that far into it. I just went in to find out where and why it was it on a different drive, and yes, it was. It was across all 3. And is that why it was not downloading and beginning to run the node? And that is exactly why. So, there are additional files preventing you from downloading and reinstalling or rebooting. You can reinstall, but it's going to get tied up between the ones that are already there. So anyway, that's the only way that I've found to run the Guardian node and the Edge node, starting all over again from scratch. All right, now I've gone back through and on YouTube, and I was watching something of this person beginning the Elite Edge node. And same thing for his computer screen. I don't know if that was the way it was when the Elite Edge node first began, where we could then stake our Tfuel. However, now it's not displayed at the bottom left. So if there a way to move through that page, that would be beneficial to anyone who's visually impaired or blind, like I am, and or someone else who just wants to run a Theta Elite Edge node and stake their Tfuel. It's not even listed at the very bottom as stake Tfuel. And then nothing else below it is displayed. You just have to hover your mouse and click and wish upon a star, it seems. So please, leave in the comments something about that if you've run into that issue. Because that was difficult for me. Like I said, I had to hold down the Windows key and then hit the minus button and then toggle full screen. Then it would barely show at the very bottom left. It would not. It didn't even look like it was an option. So, and then same thing. This other person on YouTube was showing how to paste in your address. Right? You paste in your address for the payouts to go to. I can't find that at all. All it pulls up at the very bottom left, you click on it, it pulls up the memo that you have to put into a transaction in order to stake your Tfuel. That, and it also shows the QR code. So, and I don't do a mobile device for Theta or Tfuel. So, again, just hit your Windows key and then type in Notepad and hit enter, and it'll automatically pop up the app, and then you Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. Anything, so that way you get the exact address. You're not sitting there just, pecking away. I mean, even if you're fluent in typing, right? So, I mean, you may get an L mistaken for a 1, something like that. And just saying, it's a much easier way. That's why I got into crypto in 2014, is because of going to a camp for the blind and learning the key functions of a computer. So like I said, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. So yeah. There are other different things that you'll need to know later, but not for this. You don't have to select all, like Control-A to select all and stuff like that, or Control-S to save. You can also get to save, to save as, under Alt-F. Now, Control-F is just to find. And then type in a search word. But, Alt-F, you can also then get to save as well that way. But Control-S is to save, or save as. So, anyway. I've gone through a bit. Now, I ran this Elite Edge node, got nothing as far as a payout for the amount of Theta, or rather Tfuel, that I had staked. For a full month, but here again, I also had to go do upgrades, so I don't know if that actually paid out to the old Edge node, Elite Edge node that I was running. So I did not have it as a keystone file. I don't do it that way. So, anyway. Oof. Sorry, had an itch. But so yeah, this server that I had built, I had done a lot of research into with the motherboard. It's an ASRock 560, but it's complete. It pulls up something completely different whenever I run a Crucial scan. So you can go to crucial.com and you can see all the upgrades that you can do on whatever computer that you're on at the moment. Run a scan on it, see the different upgrades, but I actually knew that I could do additional upgrades by researching this specific motherboard. Before I made the purchase, I found out the motherboard, the CPU, all of that. So the CPU I'm running is a Intel Core i7. It's 8 cores, 16 threads. And let's see, what else did I do to it? Oh, it came with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now the motherboard supports up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, so that's what I did. It was kind of pricey. It was like an additional $700 to upgrade it to 128 gigabytes of RAM. Now the hard drive that came in this was the M.2 at 500 gigabytes, which, again, is just supposed to be a Windows drive. Now the slave drive that came with it was the M.2 is a SSD, solid state drive. The slave drive that came with it was a 1 terabyte mechanical, just a HDD. So what I had done was I went in digging and diving to upgrade this, to make it like a NAS server and different things like that, is a backup for YouTube and everything, for 4K video footage and pictures and all of this kind of stuff. So I installed. I found that it was much cheaper by like 50%, and you get an excellent hard drive with it. Is you buy a backup, like an external backup, and then you can do what's called shucking. You can then open. You can then open the case of it, otherwise known as shucking, like shucking an oyster, and then remove the however many terabytes of storage it is. So I just got the 6 terabyte version, and I think it was Seagate. Anyway, opened it up and took it apart and then disconnected it from the SATA to USB. So I just removed that and then installed that in the place of the 1 terabyte. I had to go in and format disk and all that and partition it and everything else. And then the 2 terabyte was another solid state that I had, just like it was from a different server that I had, the server before this one. So this connection here, you just plug give me a sec. Oh, come on now. All right, so you just get another solid state drive. This is I think a 1 terabyte. I don't know. So it's just another hard drive, and this is how you clone a hard drive. Like if you want to upgrade your computer from mechanical to solid state, or let's say you just want to be able to copy files, even if that's just Windows to go onto it. So with this, I need more light. But anyway, this will actually fit into the edge of the hard drive and then give you a USB connection, preferably to USB 3.0 or USB-C. It'll be indicated by blue. That's the better version of USB to go in. However, I just had this connected and just plugged in to one of those ports, just externally of the computer. So anyway, I put a 2 terabyte solid state in just to have all my files of like my desktop files, running programs and whatnot. But when I downloaded the Theta Guardian node as well as the Edge node, it wanted to prompt to C, the C drive, the M.2, which is, like I said, only 500 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, not RAM, 500 gigabytes of solid state or direct to the motherboard. It's only a boot drive, really. It's all it's supposed to be used for. I changed the path to the D drive, which is the solid state 2 terabyte in this server, and it would not work from that. Again, I had to go back in, add remove programs, go back in under each drive. Yeah, it was there. Deleted that file again, and then tried to upload it again, but this time I let it automatically go to C drive. So here in the future, I mean, I wasn't planning on doing it anytime soon, really, because I was just looking at the M.2 as just a boot drive. So say someone else is only running a 256 gigabyte solid state M.2, they won't have the storage space to put Theta Guardian node or Edge node onto it. So keep that in mind as well. So that is another upgrade that I will do to this one. But I want to test this out before I do another upgrade of an M.2, because I'll just install a 2 terabyte onto it as an M.2 direct to the motherboard, as well as keeping the 2 terabyte solid state and then the 6 terabyte HDD or hard disk drive mechanical. So like I said, that's just backup storage for this unit. And so far everything, and I have a nice graphics card I've had for a while, even though this computer came with one, which was still, I mean, anyway, it's a, I have nothing overclocked. But I do have the RAM not at max and not overclocked as well. So it's like 3600 on the RAM as far as speed. But yeah, it is 4 32 gigabyte sticks of RAM I put in this. Like I said, that was an additional 700. The graphics card was like 500. Already had a great motherboard, already had a decent CPU. The mechanical that I shucked, I paid like $100 for, something like this. Yeah, it was $100 for the 6 terabyte. Otherwise, it was like another $250 to $300 to just purchase another 6 terabyte mechanical to put into it. The 2 terabyte I had from the previous server. So I put that in, and like I said, the M.2 is the only thing that's left. But before I replace the M.2 with a 2 terabyte, it's only supposed to remain at 500 gigabytes. So anyway, I know to some people I just spoke Swahili, or rather Latin. So forgive me there, but I hope that this helps you if you are trying to relaunch the Guardian node or the Edge node on a computer that you have upgraded. There's a bit more than just add remove programs. You have to then go under File and search each hard drive and fully delete it all, every file, to then be able to re-download it or reinstall it and launch it. But yeah, I'm still having issues out of the Edge node because I don't see anywhere on there. I go to settings, I go everywhere, and to input the payout address. So I don't see that anywhere. Maybe it's because it's too soon. I have not had any payouts on this edge node yet, or elite edge node yet. When I do, then to transfer, is that how it's supposed to work? Or should I be able to then automatically put in that address and then directly get payouts directly to that other Theta wallet? So yeah, a little bit more to go here. Trying to get things up and running and squared around. But yeah, I hope this video helps you. Let me know if you know of a different way that I can get in to set up my payments, or payouts rather, of Tfuel from the Elite Edge node to then be paid out automatically to the other wallet. Alright, y'all be cool. Later.